Welcome back to the channel. This is Adrian from Adrian's Avenue, where we help you make better decisions for a better financial life, because we know your daily decisions create your life. And since it's at the end of February already, how's it going? How's the budget coming? How's your spending habits coming? Is your money stacking up in some of these online savings accounts? How's that going for you? We want to help you with all of these things. And I did have someone in the chat ask me about, she's been struggling for a few years, trying to make things work and can't seem to just get over the hump. She's not alone. She is not alone. I know many of my friends are having the same problems, trying to do better, and it's just not working. Maybe the budget's not working, maybe the income's not working, but they can't seem to get any headway. And we're going to talk about that in today's video. So stay tuned. There is one thing for sure that will make you have a bad day, and that is drowning in debt. Unexpected bills coming up, student loans, car loans, home mortgages, things out of control, inflation. It will turn your good day into a bad day. And we want to help you with some of these things. It is really interesting how over time with inflation, everything has gone up, such as your monthly car payment is now at $726. Your average mortgage expense is about $2,208. For rent, just for a 2-bedroom apartment, it's $1,317. For groceries for a family of 4 each month, about $973. And credit card debt is out the wazoo. The average monthly payment for this is $272. Now, you may pay more or you may pay less. And then if you have a school loan, the average debt payment on the school loans run anywhere from $371 to $583. So as you can see, things have gone up. Things are getting higher. And with all of these monthly amounts coming out of your check, how can anybody survive with this kind of expenses and this kind of debt? So the best thing you can do is help yourself get out of debt. But there's some things that we need to realize as people before we get on that journey of getting out of debt. And it's asking yourself some questions and being honest with yourself, because there's some reasons what's keeping you from getting out of debt. And today is what we want to talk about, those things that may be hindering you, and see if you fit into any of these categories. It's not a judgment call or anything like that. It's a reality call. If you fit into the category, let's help you change your mind about some of this stuff, and let's get out of debt. The first one that I'm going to talk about is denial. Some folks just actually deny that they're in so much debt. Have you ever seen a person, they don't want to look at their bank account? If you ask them how much money they have in the bank, I don't know. How much money do you have in savings? I don't know. What's in your 401k? I don't know. They don't know anything, but they can tell you about the lifestyles of whoever and the housewives of what. They can tell you that whole line about what's going on in those TV shows, but not wanting to face things because they're worse than what you may think they are. Even if I were to ask someone, how much are you spending each month? How much is going out of your household each month? Some people just don't know. Some people don't want to know because they're in denial. But you cannot be in denial and get out of debt. You have to face it, figure out what's going on with your finances, be in control of your finances, and then you can start making headway. But denial is one of the areas and one of the reasons that people stay in debt. They just don't want to know, and they just don't want to face the huge debt that they're in. Stop number 2 is lack of awareness. Some people, because they hang with the group of girls or hang with the group of guys, and this is what they all do, they're not aware of their spending habits. Everyone does not spend money like your friends do. And everyone is not in debt like your friends are. And so being around the wrong people and not being aware of how much you're spending on certain things and thinking that this is normal. It could be, this is the way my mother spent money, so this is the way I'm going to spend money. They were always behind in paying their bills, and so that's why I'm always behind in paying their bills. But just because someone else did something like that, you need to be aware of your spending habits. And if you truly want to get out of debt, You need to get a grasp on the spending habits. The best way to do this is to, and you're not going to like it, but to write down how much you're spending on each and every item that you buy every day for like a couple of weeks. And then you will get more into the habit of what am I doing? You can look, if you have credit cards and use credit cards, you can look at your monthly statement and see how much you're spending at these malls, at dealers, on Amazon, at Home Depot. See how much you're spending at the grocery store. A credit card will tell you all of this. Or you can write it down on a piece of paper. Just keep a small sheet of paper and write down the things that you're spending. This way you can be in control of how much you spend and what you're spending things on. If you don't know, you're not aware of your spending habits. So let's get our spending habits under control. At least be aware of where your money is going. And then you'll know how much you're spending on certain things and why you don't have the money left at the end of the month. You probably have friends like this. I know I do. Friends and family. They fear change. They just don't want to change. They think if I get on a budget, I will not be able to do the things that I want to do whenever I want to do them because I'll have to watch this. I'll have to watch that. I may have to cut back here. I may have to cut back there. And so I just don't want to change. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to ruin my lifestyle by getting on a budget. And what they don't know, the secret is once you get out of debt, your lifestyle will change. You'll go through some things, the process to get out of debt. But then after you get out of debt, then you will go through the process of being able to buy and spend your money how you want to. Because Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all these places won't be asking for your money each and every month to pay for something that you bought last year or 2 years ago. So get out of debt and you can control your lifestyle and what you spend money on. Yes, like I said, you'll go through that process, but after you get over the process, if you want to go on a trip with your friends, you can do it, but you pay cash for it or put it on the credit card and pay it off right away. You're not inundated with debt. You're not drowning in debt. You're not wondering how I'm going to pay for this while I'm still trying to have fun with the friends. And so these things we need to, face the music. Yes, it's going to be somewhat of a lifestyle change for a while, but the change will be for the better. Before I get to this next one, I want you to instantly hit that like button and that subscribe button and make a comment. I'd love to hear from you with your comments. Did you hit that like button? Instantly hit that like button. Let's talk about instant gratification. Some people like to have it and want to have it right now. They don't want to wait on it. They want it now, whatever it costs. Whatever I have to do to get it now, I want it now. And we're living in a generation and a lifestyle of instant gratification. Sometimes you have to be willing to wait on some things. When you cook and you cook with a crock pot, guess what? It tastes a lot better because all those spices simmer into the meat and it's cooking in its own juices. It's cooking slowly. So when you finally eat that roast, it's nice and tender with all the juices, the potatoes, the carrots. All your whole meal is right there if you want it. You can spread it over a bed of rice or have some mashed potatoes with it. But it's a great meal. It tastes a lot better when you can wait on things. Pop something into the microwave and take it out. It's not going to taste the same. You can never convince me that baking a roast or a frozen dinner in a microwave will taste better than the slow simmering skills of a crock pot. Sometimes it takes that. Not in all cases. Some things you can make a decision on and move on it. But some things that may be life changing or budget changing for you in the negative way, you want to wait, make those decisions slowly. Instant gratification has its place, but it shouldn't take the place. It shouldn't be every decision that you make. I want it now. I got to have it. So I'm just going to get it regardless of what it costs. It's going to cost you more to be gratified instantly than to think about it, wait on it to see if you really want it. If you really want it. You know, sometimes we get things that we really don't want, and after we get them, we have regrets. So let's get a hold of this instant gratification and get things back in line. Next up, we have the blame game. The economy, it's because of my job, it's because of my boss, it's because of the way I was raised, my family history. You can blame yourself for all of this stuff for keeping you in debt and not being in a good financial position. But at some point in time, There's a thing called personal responsibility that we have to own and take up. Because all of that, and maybe it's happened to you. I'm not denying maybe it's happened to you, but at some point in time, you need to become responsible. Yes, I wasn't taught everything that I needed to know in my finances either, but because I wanted to do better than my parents, do better than the people in my family, I went out, did my own research, learned things, tried things, and started doing better. The information is out there, you all. It's online. You can talk to different people. It's there. It's there for the taking, but we don't want to go after it. We want someone to either spoon feed it to us. We just don't want to do our own research. But sometimes you have to do your own research if you want to pull yourself up out of a debt hole. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Put the blame game away and take personal responsibility for your actions and the things you do on a daily basis, including those decisions that you make on a daily basis. As a realtor, I work with people all the time, and there are some folks that I work with that you think things are going okay. Then you get the phone call, Adrian, I need to sell my house right away. Okay, what's the urgency? I'm going to go into foreclosure. They've already sent me the information. And you ask yourself, why didn't this person reach out to me earlier than this? Well, a little shame, a little embarrassment that this is happening to them. And there's no need to be embarrassed. There's no need to. Sometimes people get into situations that they didn't ask for. It just falls on them. And the best thing to do is, as soon as you possibly know what's going on, that things are not going to work out, reach out and get help as quickly as you possibly can, because there's some things that can be done that will save your credit, that will save you, get that house from under you, some things that we can do to help you. There's help out there for some of these situations, but being ashamed and not wanting to do it until the last minute when there are no options left is not the right thing to do. So life happens. I understand that. Nobody's blaming you for that. But the thing to do is, when life is happening, reach out to the professionals that you know that can help you, work with you, give you some advice on what to do. Don't wait until it's too late to reach out for help. Now for some practical guidance. If you are head over heels in debt, just drowning in debt, the number one thing that you want to do as far as being on the offense is a budget. There is no way around it, guys. You have to get on a budget. You have to know what you have coming into your household, and you have to know what you have going out of your household, because then you will realize the gap that's there. There is a gap, and it's either going to be positive or negative. Once you get yourself on a budget, and I mean sitting down and writing down things that you're spending money on. You know what your income is, write your income at the top of the list, and then start writing down the things that you're spending your money on and see what you can cut back on. But get that budget in order. That's your offensive line, is the actual budget. On the defense, that is paying down the debt. You have to get the debt in order and then pay down the debt. And there are various ways. You can go out on the internet and research them. One way is by paying down the smallest debt and moving that money to the next smallest debt, paying the minimum on all the other debt that you have, the minimum amounts, and then paying each debt off, moving that money over to the next debt, over to the next debt. The other method is looking at your interest rate, and whatever has the largest interest rate on it, pay that off first, and then move to the next largest interest rate, pay that off, and pay the minimum on everything else. So there's various ways of doing that. If you're telling yourself, or if you're saying, look, Adrian, I don't have enough money to pay all these bills, what you want to look at that point in time, because sometimes it is an income problem, getting some side hustles or getting some part-time jobs or something like that to cushion your income so that you can at least meet the amounts that you have due and nothing will be late. That's what you need to look at doing. Now, a side hustle, in my opinion, unless you just really, really like it, shouldn't be used forever and ever and ever. It should be used for a specific period of time to go ahead and get that portion of the debt paid off. Once it's done, you're finished with it. Now, if you have other things such as rental property or something like that, that can go on forever and ever and ever. But I'm talking about, Uber Eats, Uber, and these little side hustle jobs that you can get, or part-time jobs at some places that's still hiring. You can get those to get your income up, that you can meet your monthly bills and start paying things off. So you need an offense and you need a defense. And those are the two best things that you can do for you. I won't go any further than that, because if you're drowning in debt, that's what you need to be focused on. Once you're above water, then we can move on to the next steps. But right now, if you're drowning in debt, you need to get a hold of the debt. It's not going to go away. If you use these excuses that we talked about, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be with you. You have to go ahead, face the music, do the things that you need to do, bite the bullet and get it done. And you can get it done this year. We're at the end of February. By March, April, May, you could be on better ground if you start on this now. So let's start on it now. Put a comment in there if you have a question that you want to ask me or anything like that. Please give me a comment and I'll be more than happy to answer the questions that you have about this. It's doable. I have faith in you. Let's go for it.